Hello, everyone.
Good morning. Welcome back to our online classes of School 80. Here we are.
Here we are in touch with you. Welcome. Kate, have you heard that our quarantine will last up to the end of April?
Yes, I have. And actually, I think that that's rather bad news for us. They said that our quarantine would last up to the end of April. But Narmin, have you heard another breaking news that our ninth form students will have only 2 exams in Russian and Maths at the end of the studying year?
Yes, indeed. Our Minister of Education said that our ninth form students would have only 2 exams at the end of the school year.
As you see, we often need to tell others what someone else said. There are 2 ways to do this. One is to say the same words and use quotation marks. That is direct speech.
And the other method is to summarize or tell about what someone said. This is called reported speech.
In reported statements, we can use either say or tell. The meaning is the same, but the grammar is different. So pay attention to the slide. For example, if you use say, you use no personal object. For example, Alex said that he was tired. But if you use say with personal object, don't forget to put to. For example, Alex said to me that he was tired.
And if you use the verb tell, it's necessary for you to add personal object. For instance, Alex told me that he was tired. When we use say plus to, and we use say plus to infinitive, but never say about. So we use tell somebody, but speak or talk about. There are also some collocations with these verbs. For instance, say hello, tell the truth, or ask a question. You will have an opportunity to check out all of them afterwards. We will send this presentation to you.
In reported speech, personal and possessive pronouns and possessive adjectives change according to the meaning of the sentence. For example, Sarah said, I've lost my keys. That is direct statement. And in reported statement, you have to change personal and possessive pronouns. For example, Sarah said that she had lost her keys.
We can report someone's words either a long time after they were said, and that is called out-of-date reporting, or a short time after they were said, and that is called up-to-date reporting. Just remember, whenever direct speech is changed into reported speech, you need to move the tense back 1 position. It means that if you have got present simple in your direct speech, while transforming, you will have to change present simple into past simple. For instance, I like cooking, she said. She said that she liked cooking. So, as you can see in the slide, that refers to all the tenses. So present continuous, present perfect, past simple, and so on.
But there are some cases when tenses do not change in reported speech. So there are several cases. Let's work with them. The first one is when the reporting verb said, told, etc. is in the present, future, or present perfect. For example, I need to take some aspirin. Claire says that she needs to take some aspirin. There is no necessity to change tenses because the verb says is in present simple. Also, when the speaker expresses general truth, permanent states, or conditions, we also do not change tenses in reported speech. For example, the sun sets in the west, the teacher said. The teacher said that the sun sets in the west. That is general truth. That's why there is no necessity to change tenses.
Tenses also do not change in reported speech when the verb of the sentence is in the unreal past. For example, if you have got the second or the third type conditionals or wishes, or you have such expressions as it's time, would rather, suppose, or as if. For instance, I wish you stopped being so stubborn, Sarah told Michael. Sarah told Michael that she wished he stopped being so stubborn. or when there is a past continuous in a clause of time. For instance, as I was walking in the street, I saw an old friend, he said. He said that as he was walking in the street, he saw an old friend.
Also, the sentence expresses something which is believed to be true. In these cases, the verb tense can either change or remain unchanged. For example, dogs have a keen sense of smell, she said. She said that dogs have or had a keen sense of smell. Actually, it depends on you or situation. By the way, if the sentence expresses something which is not true, then the verb changes. For example, Paris is the biggest capital in Europe, he said. We know that that's not true, and Paris is not the biggest capital in Europe. So then, in reported speech, you have to change tenses. He said that Paris was the biggest capital in Europe.
So speaking about time and place references, they must often change when going from direct to reported speech, but please don't confuse time with tense. Tense is the grammatical form of the verb that in the reported clause we sometimes shift back. And time refers to the actual time that something happens, such as today or now or 5 weeks ago. And you can see some of these time and place references in the slide. Check them out, please.
As you see, we have already discussed reported statements. Now let's speak about reported questions. So reported questions are usually introduced with the verbs ask, wonder, and such expression as want to know and others. When we report questions, we have to pay attention to the auxiliary verb. These are words like do, be, and have. Information questions start with the question word like who, where, how, and so on. He asked me what I had put in the salad. That is the reported question to direct question, what did you put in the salad? So here learners often make the mistake of keeping the same word order. He asked me what had I put in the salad, but it's not correct. And don't forget to change word order in reported question. A similar word order switch appears with the verb be in such questions. They asked, when is the party? They asked me when the party was.
Speaking about yes or no questions, they begin with an auxiliary such as, do you like jazz? So to report that question, drop the auxiliary and add if. For instance, he asked me if I liked jazz. Learners often make the mistake of leaving the auxiliary verb in the reported speech. They say, he asked me, do I like jazz? But you must remember that in some tenses, auxiliary verb is used only to form questions and negations. But in affirmative sentences, we don't need auxiliaries.
So now we want to show you the video from BBC Grammar Learning.
6-minute grammar.
From the BBC.
Hello, welcome to 6-Minute Grammar with me, Catherine.
And me, Neil.
Neil, have a sandwich. It's from Finn. He said you were hungry.
Really?
Yeah. He said, in fact, Finn said he's hungry. Give him a sandwich.
Well, that's very kind of Finn. It's delicious.
And in today's programme, we're talking about reported speech.
We'll be discussing why and when we use it, and we'll see how to form it.
We use reported speech when we want to report something that another person said. In our example, Finn originally said,
He's hungry.
That's direct speech. Catherine reported the direct speech like this.
Finn said you were hungry.
Okay, now let's look at that more closely. We need to make some grammatical changes when we report what someone else says. First, when the speaker or listener changes, we need to change the pronouns.
That's right. Finn used he in direct speech to talk about Neil.
He is hungry.
Then Catherine told me what Finn said.
Finn said you were hungry.
Second change. In reported speech, we often move the tense back one step into the past. So is hungry becomes were hungry.
But we don't have to change the verb tense in reported speech if the situation is generally true. Here's an example. Finn, give us a sentence, please.
Okay. I love cheese sandwiches.
Thank you, Finn. And Neil, can you report what Finn said, please?
Yes, Finn said he loves cheese sandwiches.
Okay, so there we don't change loves to loved because Finn loves cheese sandwiches and that's a general truth.
Now, the third thing we need with reported speech is a reporting verb. Say and tell are the most common ones, and we usually put them in the past tense. For example, Finn said Neil was hungry.
Now let's look at how to report questions with question words like what and who.
We'll hear the direct speech first from Finn, then Catherine will give us the reported speech.
What's the time?
Finn asked what the time was.
The reporting verb comes first, then the question word, and then the reported sentence with the tense moved back. And don't forget to change the word order from question word order to statement word order. Another one, please, Finn and Catherine.
Who ate the cake?
He asked who'd eaten the cake.
OK, now it's time to look at pronunciation.
Yes, pronunciation. Some past tense forms in reported speech can be difficult to hear. In the last example, the two words who and had become who'd. Who'd. He asked who'd eaten the cake.
So had is shortened to just a d sound. Listen out for the short d sound in this next example.
She asked where I'd gone.
So the phrase I had becomes I'd. One more time, please, Finn.
She asked where I'd gone.
Thank you, Finn. So watch out for contractions in reported speech.
6-minute grammar.
From bbclearningenglish.com.
And now, are you ready?
For a quiz?
It's quiz time. Finn is going to say some sentences in direct speech. As you listen, decide what the correct reported speech is. Here's the first one.
I've eaten my lunch.
Is the reported speech A, he said he's eating his lunch, or B, he said he'd eaten his lunch?
And the answer is B. He said he'd eaten his lunch. The present perfect changes to the past perfect.
OK, next one, please, Finn.
I go to work by bus.
Is the reported speech A, Finn said he goes to work by bus, or B, Finn said he's going to work by bus?
And it's A. Finn said he goes to work by bus.
OK, and here's the last one.
Where are my glasses?
Is it A, he asked where were his glasses, or B, he asked where his glasses were?
And the right answer is B. He asked where his glasses were.
Now, before we go, there's just enough time for a top tip. With the reporting verb tell, we say who the person is talking to. For example, Finn told me he's going to pay for lunch today.
Wow. And when we use the reporting verb say, we don't say who the person is talking to. So this next sentence is wrong.
Finn said me he was going to pay for lunch today.
But this one is correct.
Finn said he was going to pay for lunch today.
So that's reported speech.
There's more about this on our website at bbclearningenglish.com. Join us again for more 6-minute grammar. Bye.
Bye.
6-minute grammar.
From bbclearningenglish.com.
Thank you for listening to ours and watching the video. We hope that you have completed all quiz exercises correctly. We hope that you understand everything, and don't forget that if you have any questions, you can ask your teachers in your group chats. Your home task is, you can see it here on this slide. You have two Word documents. You have to complete the exercises, transform the sentences from direct into reported speech.
And send 2 files to your teacher's email with answers. To get the task, follow the link given after the description to the video.
So thank you for your attention. We were glad to see you with us. Thank you. See you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.